Merry Christmas to all of you. It's Dennis LaRue. It's Christmas Eve, actually. San Antonio, Texas, 7 p.m. And it is a pleasure to be with you this evening for the holiday version of the hashtag steeltoesrequired quote of the week. And this week, the quote isn't necessarily from any the Bible, religious quotes, or even from any Christmas movies. But I think our quote ties in to all of those things, and here it is. Our quote comes from actor Jim Caviezel, and he said this: "You weren't made to fit in, you were made to stand out." Jim Caviezel. If you don't know who that actor is, briefly, he played Jesus in The Passion of Christ. He also played in one of my favorite movies, The Count of Monte Cristo. Love it. But his quote fits in with the holiday season because, you know, all of you right now, I'm seeing folks posting all over Facebook their favorite Christmas movies they're watching. I love it. I think of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. A lot of you with smaller kids are watching that. I remember that being a family event with popcorn with mom and dad and my sister in front of the TV watching that as a kid. But also, maybe you've watched It's a Wonderful Life, my personal favorite. I've seen it 38 times. I watch it at least once every year. Also, A Christmas Carol. Some of you are watching A Christmas Vacation, and others that are out there. But the point of all of this is this: you weren't made to fit in, you were made to stand out. Back to Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer. Okay, a red-nosed reindeer stands out. How about the Island of Misfit Toys? My favorite part of that show was the cowboy riding an ostrich, or a water pistol that shoots grape jelly. They stand out. You know, It's a Wonderful Life. George Bailey, the main character, who had this desire in him to get out of the small town and to make big things happen in his life, and life kept getting in the way. And eventually, he loses hope. He's depressed and discouraged. Or you've got Scrooge. Scrooge has everything, very wealthy, but a hardened heart and soul. Which one of those are you? Because this holiday season, when I think of this, each of these movies and this quote reminds me of a very important central theme of life. And that's redemption, transformation. All of those movies I mentioned have that piece to it. So why do we keep watching those year in and year out? Because of the hope that they bring us. Because of that, as we grow, that desire for newness, that desire for new beginning, that desire for redemption, for transformation. And so, you know what? We've all felt like that toy that nobody wants. We've all felt like George Bailey at some point in our lives where just nothing goes right. And I've even had the thought cross my mind like George Bailey did, that I'm worth more dead than alive. I remember that thought. Or in A Christmas Carol, you know what? Having everything and deep down inside having absolutely nothing inside but hardness and bitterness, because money can't buy happiness. It can buy a lot of things, but it can't buy peace. It can't buy transformation, and it can't buy redemption. So, but what all of these also have in common is you can have life and you can live it abundantly. The Island of Misfit Toys, they get placed in homes for children who want toys. George Bailey discovers his why through being able to see what his life would look like if he were never born. And it wasn't until he saw his wife that he realized he has a wonderful life, regardless of the circumstances he was in. And it goes the same with Scrooge. Scrooge got a chance to see his life and his future. He saw the past, the present, and the future. And he realized right there and then that he had squandered his life to that point. And he made a complete change. All of them had a transformation. So what about you? What about you, my friends? Where's your transformation in this holiday season? Redemption, this holiday season. You know what? It's all wrapped up in the manger. In Emmanuel, God with us. In that baby that was born in a manger over 2,000 years ago. That's where redemption, that's where transformation is. And then combine that with love, and I can promise you this, while you may feel like an island of misfit toys, you may feel desperate like a George Bailey, and you may feel even hardened like a Scrooge, when you pull these together from what God gave us in Jesus. I promise you this, you'll be transformed, you will be renewed, and you will stand out, because you weren't made to fit in. You were made to stand out. So get off the island of misfit toys. Get off of it. Don't jump off that bridge like George Bailey wants to. And don't be like Scrooge and say, bah humbug. Instead, embrace Christmas. Embrace what you have now, the gratitude and the gifts and the people that you're around, regardless of circumstances. Be redeemed. Be reborn. Be renewed. Be transformed. And I want to close this time tonight. Thank you for those of you joining me here. Chen Xiaoming, I see you. Rob. Transform these abs. You're crazy, man. And my wife watching. I want to close tonight as you guys get ready to enjoy the rest of your evening with your family and your friends and the rest of the Christmas holiday and what you do. I wrote this blessing down that was given in It's a Wonderful Night and added a little twist to it. But this is my prayer for you. And here it is. Father, I pray that bread, that you always have bread, that you may never go hungry. I pray for salt, that your life will always have flavor. I pray for wine, that the joy and prosperity will reign with you forever. And I pray for the love of Christ to bless you richly. Merry Christmas to you, and I'll see you next week on #SteelToesRequired New Year's Eve edition. Be ready. New Year's Eve, 8 p.m. Central. Thanks for joining me. God bless you. Merry Christmas. Good night, everyone.